hello. If you are watching this, then it's very possible you have just watched Coriolanus, which we did an NT live of at the Donmar Warehouse, whereas at that point, quite a new artistic director. Very happily, I'm joined for a reunion by Deborah Findlay and Tom Hiddleston. If you have just watched the NT live, you will have been legitimately worried because Tom will have been dangling upside down by his feet, while I think Deborah stood upstage right in a petal drop as your son perished. So sorry if that's been a bit of a dampener on everybody's lockdown.
Josie, just hanging upside down. I remember the day we went into the theatre early, just a small group of us, to test how long it was possible for a human being to be suspended upside down without passing out.
That sounds like we were hoping that you would sort of test that by having you pass out. I think I should probably make clear to the general public at this point that was not our intention. It was very carefully managed. But yeah, we did need to run a proper test of it. Because again, it's to do with the kind of visceral nature of it. I think what we really wanted to do was to show that he was eviscerated, gutted at the end. And, you know, this body that everyone's been obsessing with is in the end treated like this piece of meat. So we're kind of after that image, and you were very brilliantly up for trying it. It's a bit of a challenge in the tiny Donmar Warehouse because there's only one exit upstage. So we can only really send you up and round, and I think you scampered across the top, came down, were bloodied up, possibly not scampered. I don't know. It's not scampering.
Extraordinary backstage journeys of my life.
So describe it. Go on, because people will see you go up the ladder and disappear. What happened?
Yeah, so I go. Well, the Donmar, as you know, as you well know, is an old banana ripening warehouse of the ancient market of Covent Garden. And I imagine the time it was turned into a theatre, they tried to create as much space as possible for the play itself. And so up in the roof is space for a lighting rig and a very narrow, small scaffold, which you have to crawl along to change. Which, you know, the electricians and the crew have to crawl along to change the lights. So I had to scamper up this ladder, crawl along this narrow scaffold, down two fire escape ladders, into four unbelievable members of the costume department and stage management, who I then sort of stood there like a mannequin while they stripped off all my armor, and then standing very by with a bucket of stage blood, sponges, and syringes. And it was extraordinary. It's a miracle that it was possible, really.
I remember some of the other actors saying, do you want us to trim down this bit while he's off stage? Because I don't necessarily need these lines. I was like, no, you keep them. That's fine. We'll need all the time we can get.
Keep them and say them as slowly as you can.
Really, just really feel them out. We didn't harness you up, Deborah, which feels unfair now that we didn't manage to suspend you.
I'm very thankful. I didn't have to climb off any ladders or no. Yes, I really felt for you but because you had all these scars as well, didn't you, Tom? I remember pre-show, I came, you know, we'd have a little chat, but and this was while you were being scarred every night.
Well, I would have an hour of and a big shout out to Michelle, who did it every day.
Yeah.
But
that was brilliant.
An hour of makeup, essentially,
really
an hour of prosthetic makeup.
Yeah.
Because as people will have just seen, the sheer number, the volume of references that characters make to the scars and the wounds and the cicatrices and the obsession with the blood he has shed, as you'll know, Deborah, you know, by Volumnia, the pride she takes in it, and so important that these scars were there. But it was incredibly exciting trying to find a way of bringing these things in the text to life.
It was great doing it again in the Donmar in such a small space because I mean it was a tight company, wasn't it, Tom? There were two dressing rooms and yeah. So we
Yeah.
were very close together, but it really did make us into a company.
I think I'm right in saying that you held a disco backstage, Debbie. Is that right? Do you remember Debbie's disco?
Yes, I certainly do.
Was that post show, just as a bit of a?
No,
to get
that
people-
was
Sometimes pre-show. Yeah.
and it was actually it was one of the disco tunes from the Great Beauty, the Soren, is it Sorrentino?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's this has just
Right.
been on last night, wasn't it? I think. And we just wanted a bit of Italian disco to just get everybody together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work. Yes.
It's such a heavy piece.
Yeah.
And it was just, I remember when you played that, Deborah, it was just lightened everybody up, kind of something to put a bit of gladness in the soul before ending into this extremely angry play.
I just wanted to talk to you both a little bit about this extraordinary relationship between mother and son that exists in this play, and how you began to find your way into that. I was thinking back to some early rehearsals. I know we spoke to a really good psychoanalyst at one point who came and had a chat with us. I found that really illuminating. And we worked in a lot of detail on it. When did you start to feel like you'd really clinched it, or was it something that was there from the beginning for you both?
Gosh, what do you think, Deborah?
Well, I was always aware that Coriolanus's mother was the driving force in all different sorts of ways for him. So I was just very aware that I had to give you that the mother that had created you, if you see what I mean. And I think she was a mother like no other. I mean, she did not give motherly love, did she? I mean, it was brutal how she brought you up, and country and right and was everything. So that, as we've said before, she relished your scars and your battle, and but that love and that force and that expectation of her for you was I wanted to give you that driving thing behind you, and it was just great to play with each other, wasn't it?
Great. It was great. It was intense. It was almost every chord on the piano. You know, the dynamic that they have is. And I remember, I always remember that scene between his violent, aggressive diatribe in the Senate, and then going back out to try and make amends, to try and calm everything down and appease, and somehow as a palliative, and there's a line, I think. I remember when Marcius refuses, is being obstinate about being asked to lie and to say something he doesn't mean. And Volumnia says, "Thy valiantness was mine, thou suckst it from me." And that sort of tells you everything you need to know.
So
the question that hangs over the play, I suppose, is to what extent does Marcius carve out his identity as a warrior for Rome, for himself, for the people, for his fellow soldiers, or for his mother, just for his mother's affection, approval?
And I always felt that at the end she sort of knew what she was doing. She knew that she was sacrificing her son. She knew what the outcome of that, of persuading him not to raise Rome. So it was.
You played that so brilliantly, Deborah. I thought, as a woman who knew the price and the cost and the fate of doing it, like you managed to make all those. I mean, it's a really obvious thing to say, but it was so great to have you both doing those parts, and it was so wonderful as a director to work with two actors who were so curious to explore it and so generous to each other's process. And you know, I think the wonderful thing about both of you is you're also so playful, which allows you to go to a deeply tragic place.
Mm.
You know, it's an amazing thing. That,
It was a fun dance, wasn't it?
It was great. It was great. And it's great when you have an actor who can play with you, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Yeah, I know the play is meant to make us sort of worry about being proud of things, but I am so very proud of that production and so very proud to work with you both on it, really.
Well, every time when you're in a fantastic production like this was, every night it's an event, and it's an event that encompasses all the audience, because it's different every night and different things happen, and there's real electricity and things learnt.
Mm.
And you just don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
I really, really hope, well, it will come back. Don't know how long it'll take, but it's very, very important, isn't it?
The stories we tell on stage, the stories we tell in the theatre, we laugh together, we cry together, we learn together. We are a community, and it's been the source of so many curiosities, avenues of thought, ideas, experiences in my life. It can open your mind to something you didn't know. And that's why I wanted to be an actor. I thought, what a thing to be part of. And that's what I think we all hope we're doing every time we put on a play, is we hope we're contributing to that tradition of community and ideas and fellow feeling.
It's really beautiful, Tom. That's really true. It just made me think, I live on this little street in Kentish Town, and how about this, the power of theatre? Over the course of the past month or so, like neighbours who knew each other a bit, or I got to know each other a bit better. I've been coming out to do the Clap for Carers thing, and I'd say over the course of the month, really quietly, about half a dozen people have found a moment to come up to me and go, do you think we could do some kind of, I don't know, like the lady over there can play the harp, and someone down there can sing a bit, and do you think you could just like think of something where we can do? And I go like, what, a play in the street? They're like, yeah, is there anything we, like, you really feel like a bunch of people in North London just going, please can we do some kind of performance together? Like that's a thing that they really, really want at the moment. There's a real need for that, I think, and I will definitely try and make something up. And it lives in our theatres.
Well, we need it. That's the thing. We need it, and it will come back, and I don't know how long it will take, and it's going to take some real support from outside our industry, but we just, as long as we love it and cherish it, we'll find ways to come back.
Yeah, we've got to find a way of, because it is, for the audience, it is a communal thing, isn't it? It's not something you can really, really experience if you're just you in a theatre without anybody else. You need a group experience, don't you? And that's going to be the hard thing, as well as the economic thing. But that's going to be the hard thing of how you get everybody in a theatre again. But we've got to find that way. We've got to find a way of doing that.
But it's amazing what the National Theatre have done with these with the National Theatre at Home thing, because it's a way of keeping the performing arts going in this very strange time.
And it's good to have these things. It's good to have that arena to think about that sort of thing when it's all happening outside as well.
Yeah.
We should probably wrap this up, otherwise I'll never be able to edit it. I just want to say it's good to see your faces.
Lovely.
And
Likewise.
so fun.
And thank you. We just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in to watch both the play and this talk. I know it means a lot to the National. It means a lot to theatres everywhere. So thank you.
It does. All right. Lots of love. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.